What's up, guys? Tim here with Sports Card Action, coming back at you with some more action here having to do with all things sports card investing related. What I want to talk about today is PSA grading the cases, the actual different types of labels that are used or have been used throughout the years, and how the labels have changed, and what types of things you need to think about as you're shopping for these graded cards online or wherever, and what that should mean to you. Are the new ones better than the old ones? Do they hold more value? Is there a difference? Do they stack together? Are they the same? Does it not matter at all? Should you crack them open and send it in, or just send it in and have them reslab it if they're older? First of all, what I will say is there's several differences here. This is an older one. It doesn't have the hologram on the front, as you can see. And then this is kind of the mid tier. This isn't the newest one, but it's got the small hologram in the middle, at the bottom middle of the label there. All right. Same with this one. And then this is like what the new one is here. It's a little bigger. It goes down into the red border of the label, and that's the newest one, and that's, I would say, would be like the preferred one. I am willing to pay a premium myself when I see the new label, because it's a new slab. It's newly slabbed, and there's just less opportunity for the card to be jeopardized in the amount of time since it's been graded. That's what the back of the new label looks like compared to middle of the road. So you got that, and then the older style is like that, which is similar to that. And then, so obviously the biggest change came with the newest labels here, with it looking like that. The other thing about, especially these older ones, like this, I just got this one in the mail this week. The label actually gets kind of wavy, like it's a little warped. It looks a little different than these newer ones. The white on it is just a flat white, as you can see. Or maybe you can't see, it's hard to see. So that's the old one compared to the new one. You can kind of see how the white on the label actually has some texture to it. I don't know, it's hard to see there. Anyway, yeah, you can't really see on the camera, I guess, right now, but it's got like this kind of texture going through it. And I haven't really seen these newer ones, any of the ones with the holograms, actually have wavy labels to them. They're usually pretty nice and flat. Seem to be a little shinier, possibly. But I definitely prefer the new labels over the older ones. And to me, why would an older label get wavy? I mean, just why do things warp? Absorbing moisture mainly. And you hate to think that your card that supposedly is preserved for all of eternity inside these slabs could actually be compromised by moisture. But you gotta really make sure when you're paying a lot of money for these cards in these slabs that you're keeping them in a low humidity environment, okay? Keep that in mind and think about that. I won't get into exactly the different ways of how it could be kept like in a safe, maybe with something else that is has moisture or something like that, where it could end up being a high amount of humidity inside a safe or something, um, or any type of environment that could compromise your investments with moisture. You're better off just throwing it in a drawer, honestly, or something, rather than like sealing it in a tight, area that you don't exactly know exactly what, the environment as far as the dew point, um, or the humidity is, or whatever you want to say there. Just be careful if you're holding these for long-term investment. I think any card that, especially a legendary player, someone that's established, Hall of Fame players. Obviously, Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame yet, but I don't really hold that against him personally. But I mean, these are blue chip investments. These will at least retain their value, if not go up in value over time. They're not making any more of them. So make sure you take care of these, keep them somewhere safe. And like I said, I prefer the newer labels, any of the ones with the hologram on it. I just think I don't like to see this one I just got. I was kind of disappointed. I had to look back at the listing and just make sure that, did I really buy one with the old label? And yeah, it is. It's the same one I bought. I just ended up getting this 83 Pete Rose. It was only like $10 or $11 out the door, free shipping. So I mean, for that amount, PSA 9, I'll take that, even if it's an older label. And it's fine. But I would say for sure PSA is the best investment. It's going to be the easiest to sell later on down the road. BGS is fine. I used to like BGS because I liked the Beckett magazines. I used to get those, so I would just fill out the order form out of the magazine and send in my cards, once in a while. I only did a few submissions, but I mean, those are fine. The Beckett slabs are obviously a lot thicker. PSA is thin, but I don't mind them being thin. You can stack more of them together in a smaller area. And they're just, like I said, it's definitely gotten to be the preferred way of grading, whether it's vintage, whether it's new. PSA is just more widely regarded as the preferred grading company. And like I said, it's just, you're going to be able to sell them faster. They're more liquid, and people are going to know what they are, and they're going to know what they're getting. And you'll be able to resell those pretty easily and quickly, and get them moved if you need to in the future at some point. But honestly, I would, and I'll talk about this more in future videos too, I would consider, as much as possible, hanging on to these things as a long-term investment, because I mean, if you're doing it as a business, that's fine. But I don't know how much you're going to make by just constantly buying and flipping, especially with the return times right now. Buying, getting things graded, flipping them, going through that whole process. And I know there's guys who do that, and they definitely make profit by doing that and finding raw cards to send in for grading. And it's fine. You can do that too and still keep them for long-term investment. I mean, if it's a card that you get graded and it ends up being worth, a small amount, how much do you really need, $20? I mean, I feel like I'm stealing these cards, these Pete Rose cards, even though they're not as good as like the 60s and the early 70s ones of him. But I mean, for 10, 20, $30 for a PSA 9 card, I mean, with the amount it costs to get it graded and then having to wait on the return time, and I'm scooping these PSA 9s for, $20 or whatever. It's like, how bad does that person really need that $20 and then have to pay eBay fees and shipping, whatnot, and go through the hassle, potentially having to deal with someone returning it. I would just keep them. If you get someone that's really hot right now, like some of these hoopers, Doncic and Giannis, Trey, and all these guys, Zion, yeah, I mean, definitely sell those at the peak of the hype for sure. But legendary players, I keep it. I think vintage is the next wave. I like the new slabs. Like I said, I like the legends, the goats, and I'll make some more videos about what I'm looking into buying right now in the future. But for now, just give you a little bit of information there as far as those slabs. Keep that in mind. And that's it. Listen, keep doing what you're doing. Keep investing. Keep collecting. Invest in long-term wealth. Oh, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Crush that notification and leave comments down below if you would be so kind. And I'll see you at the next one.